Hi, I'm Jess Bolton, and this is the Daily Mirror's Jess Saying live. And I'm here joined today. We're going to be talking a lot about Love Island, everything that we're all watching at the moment. And I am joined by AJ and Curtis Pritchard. Thank you, boys.
Hello, Jess. How you doing?
It's lovely to have you back. I love you guys. So, yes, I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, it's good. Not too bad, aren't we? Not too bad, actually.
Look, we got a bit of a tan, been out in the sun.
Well, you say that. It's been a bit miserable, really, the weather.
Yeah, it has been a bit, but at least we can see some sunshine on the TV now, because obviously this week it started again. Love Island. Curtis, you were the star of it before. Now, what's it like sitting there being watching it on the screen? Because this
I'm jealous of them.
God, it's you without a beard. It confused me.
I know. Well, I look really fresh there. I'm thinking, well, maybe I do need to shave this, actually. No, you know what? I haven't watched Love Island before my series, really, and I didn't watch my series. I could not wait to watch this on TV. Genuinely, I don't know why. Watching them all get their pictures taken, I had the butterflies from when I was getting my pictures taken and done. And that feeling that you know you're going into the villa, you know it's about to happen, you're nervous, you're excited. I felt all of that for these contestants. And now that it's started, I'm loving it. It's good fun.
You're loving it. You're loving it. You enjoyed it as well, AJ, because you've had to sit there through the experience of watching your brother on that. That must be really quite hard.
Yeah, it's different watching it now and having absolutely no pressure from watching it when Curtis was in it to having to literally religiously sit there and listen out for every single word, and kind of knowing the storyline the day before the show aired was always kind of a good point. So I knew if it was like, oh my God, there's gonna be a train crash in this episode or not. But it's really interesting when you see these people come in, and I don't know if I'm feeling older. I'm only 26. I feel old now, but I feel like they're younger. They're more kids. I don't know about how you feel. Well, I feel the topics of conversation are
More of a struggle.
are a bit more confusing. I'm like, wow, some people really have not got interesting things going on in their lives at the moment. Maybe it's just the 2 years of the pandemic and they haven't been up to much. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. But imagine how old you feel at 26. Imagine what I feel like watching it. So yeah, it's almost like, I'm sure I'm probably old enough to be some of their mothers, which is quite disturbing enough to be told. But that bit, like the first bit from the first episode this week, and I love the whole bit where they have to stand there and step forward for the guys.
What in that part? So do you know what? Actually watching that was quite nice, because I didn't enter until sort of...
Yeah, you walked in with the easy part. You walked in just going to pick the girl you want to after you'd been on like a 24-hour date in reality, whereas they had just like...
Yeah, me and Tommy, we had it easy, to be fair, coming in, because we had... I think one of them mentioned... Is it Chloe? She mentioned she felt like God almost out of it.
Well, she did have the power.
And we had the power. So really... I never had to fear about anyone stepping forward for me or not stepping forward for me or any of that.
It's so kind of like you're there and you want someone to step forward, and like I think it was one good thing that we weren't in that situation, because when Snowy steps forward, you don't know whether to kind of laugh or feel sad or feel like the highs or the lows. And the awkward thing is when you're in this TV world, you know that on camera we only see a certain part, but you can imagine when it's off camera and they're like, nobody step forward. What do I do?
What would you imagine if like you're stood there and like they're coming in and it's the first person in? Would you step forward for them or would you not? Because you don't know who else is coming in. This is the thing.
If you've got an initial attraction, don't you? You kind of you think they're fit or not. But it's really awkward when the girls say to the guys, "Well, you're not tall or you're tall." I feel like that's what everybody talks about at the moment. It's just like all I want is the number one tick list is I just want them to be like 6'3".
Yeah, well,
this is what
happens if they're an absolute bastard and they're 6'3"? Yeah, okay. No, I know, I can imagine, but you can't step forward on every single. If you step forward on the first one, you could miss out. But if you hang on,
you can still step forward. It's just more awkward. Yeah. It's just more awkward. If you step forward on the first one, then you're like, "Oh, second one's good." Then you step forward again. By the time you get to the fifth one, oh, you're not looking good on TV, are you?
Yeah, you're not looking good. You're looking like the hussy of the series, aren't you, at that point? So, who are your favourite couples so far?
Right, so it's Liberty and I'm so bad with name. Josh and Liberty, isn't it?
Jake and Liberty.
Jake and Liberty. Now I am bad with names, as we all knew on Let's Go Dating. But yeah, Jake and Liberty. They are my favourite couple so far, but I don't know if it's going to last.
Not from what I was talking about last night on the episode. He was kind of like, people thought he was like, they got the perfect relationship, and then he was a bit like, oh, I'm not too sure if I've got the right thing or not.
He loves the personality, but he's not sure about that attraction of ripping off your clothes, wanting to be around you 24/7. I don't think it's going to last.
I like his conversations.
Yeah.
But and to us, I can't understand some of them. That sounds really bad.
No.
I'm finding it quite hard. I'm like watching TV. I'm like, I need to turn it up because I'm not really getting the accents. And I think I've got a small accent.
No, who's the Scottish guy? Like absolute perfectly looking. I can't think of his name now.
Oh, Brad from Northumberland. You mean? Yeah, the one with the
I couldn't understand quite a few words that he. Yes.
No.
This guy.
What he's saying. This is why. I'm not accent, so I apologise in advance. But yeah, I couldn't understand what he was saying. But to be honest, all he did was keep talking. He kept talking. Then she was just like, and then he just kept talking, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
She just wanted a question. That's all she wanted.
The girls did not care what he was saying, to be quite honest, did they? Because he was. I've seen a few people who have been like tweeting and stuff that he's definitely the labourer they would want to come round to their house. He seems like an early favourite. Obviously, quite a hard one for you two to choose. But who do you think is probably going to be the most popular out of the girls with all the rest of the guys?
Ooh, this is a good question.
It was entertaining as a viewer to have Chloe come in so early and to kind of really make everything kind of go left, right, and centre, and everyone's thinking, well, it was funny how the guys were like, well, she's new and we need to welcome her in and we need to go see her. I did enjoy that kind of soft kind of in for the other girls, but she made people question everything straight away, and I thought it was great because after the first episode, I was like, everybody looks too comfortable. We don't want that. We don't want comfortable on day one, week one.
Savage.
No, I want the lie detector test back. That's what I want.
You never did that.
No.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. You got off light. We've got Kyle O'Sullivan here, who is basically saying, who in the villa do you think should probably stop whinging?
All of them.
I don't think they've been whinging too much, to be honest, other than he was moaning that he got some flies in his beer and he was pretty sad and wanted another one, but I think that's just because he wanted drinks.
Yeah, I think no one it's still very early days, isn't it? I mean, they've been in there for 4 nights now, isn't it? 4 days.
Yeah. Ooh.
1 day feels like a month. It really.
Yeah, I bet. It's we lost you for a tiny second there, but we caught the end. But Mitch here says, what do you think of the first dumping of the villa?
Right, okay, so I thought Love Island's been on for a couple of seasons now. They have to spice things up to keep it entertaining. They really do. Now, when that dumping happened, it took me by surprise. I did not expect that. And it is exactly what Love Island as a show needed and did. Fantastic. In terms of how she felt, I felt so sorry for her because normally you would have...
Is that the least amount of time somebody's spent in the villa?
I think it possibly is, but normally you would have an inkling that somebody is going, even if you're going to... So I'd like that guy, but then you know that the other person's going to go if you choose that guy. Where this was out the blue.
Yeah.
Spectacular. Absolutely mortifying for the young lady. I feel so sorry for her.
So it's super high, super low on one.
But for viewings, blew my mind, honestly.
So, Mitch follows up there saying that he met you on your last tour of AJ Live last year.
Thank you, Mitch. Great support.
Yeah. You're doing well, man.
Right. So Now, there's been some dares already, which happened quite early on, and you had to do some stuff in the villa, Curtis. What makes you kind of cringe looking back of some of your times in the villa?
You know what? The whole 56 hours, every single show, that makes me cringe. No, I've not really watched it back because I don't want to be cringing about it, to be fair. That's why I've not watched it back, because I just sort of did me and I was me. And I know that I can be cringy sometimes. I know that, and I full on accept that, and I take it on the chin, I will. So that's why I've not watched it back. But the dares, and it's when you have to say your dirtiest secret position. That got me, actually. When they said to me, I don't know if they showed it.
Like got everybody else on the outside.
They said to me.
Everybody on the outside was like, "Have you drank too much? What are you on about? You broke the internet for a good hour and a half."
You did.
I was like, my mum and my nan's watching this. No, I can't demonstrate it.
I cannot. AJ, you were obviously watching that at home. Were you with your mum or nan at the time? And
the one thing I got phone calls from way too many people, and it was like, what is this position? Nobody knew what he was on about. And then everybody went to Google, obviously, within a minute, and every single website just crashed. Which the story the next day was Curtis breaks the internet with was it Eagle?
The Eagle.
I don't want to know what the Eagle thing is. All I know is Eagles fly in the sky. That's why I'm going to leave it at that.
Wide and say
we will not be asking you for the demonstration now, anyway.
Okay.
Okay. And we got a question here from Liam Phoenix. Which couple do you think is the current front runner? We sort of touched on that a little bit already.
I would stick with the same.
Yeah. Jake and Liberty.
Until it doesn't last.
Now, but Jake comes from near where I lived from at home, because he's from Western-super-Mare, I think, isn't he? And his accent is a lot stronger than I think mine is. But the thing that really got me about him was that toe-sucking confession. Was that not early?
How many times did he say it? He said it so many times out of VT, and I felt like then they edited it back in and clipped it in. I must have heard it 10 times within 1 minute. It was a bit too much.
All I can say is they got a good video of it, didn't they, on there? They made that clear. It's like, I've got the right angle. Don't worry, guys. I've got this angle.
I've got the angle. I'm like, that nearly put me off my dinner. I'm not going to lie. That was too much. That was too much information. But there was some, poor Toby had to do the toe-sucking challenge. Are you under a lot of pressure in there? Do you feel like you can sort of say, oh, no, I don't want to do that? Or, did you feel sorry for him having to
Absolutely. You can say you don't want to do it, but you're in that environment. You're in that energy, that excitement, that just...
Are you saying this
that playfulness that...
from last time or for them?
That you want to get involved, and you're there to get involved. And let's be honest, to find love and stuff, you have to put yourself in awkward and quirky positions and situations, because if you're going to be in a relationship with someone, you want to be able to put yourself in them silly positions and have fun and have a laugh. So you do sort of go for it.
I don't know where
you throw yourself in.
I think the answer to the question was yes, he probably does feel the pressure, so he's had to do it.
Sucking challenge,
Brilliant.
Curtis. Would you have done the toe-sucking dare, Curtis?
All I'm going to say is I'm happy I didn't have to.
Right. Okay. I will tell you what. We've got another question here saying, AJ, would you consider Love Island? Now, obviously, you've got the lovely Abbie. So
I'm sorted. I don't have to put myself in toe-sucking situations because
AJ, we don't want to know what you do behind closed doors.
I love Abbie, and we're stronger than ever. So thankfully, I don't have to do Love Island, and I don't know if I could deal with the stress of Love Island. It's I've dealt with some stressful TV shows, but I think Love Island goes above and beyond in that level.
I mean, talk about stressful TV shows. You did, obviously, I'm a Celeb in Wales when it was cold.
Yeah.
So do you think Love Island's actually tougher than that in terms of...
Different, just different.
I'm going to say yes, it is tougher, because you know that on a show like I'm a Celeb, the parts that are really boring when you're sleeping and doing nothing, they're definitely not going to make the air. But on the Love Island, whatever you do is going to make air. And I think like the heat and the exhaustion, and I remember you getting sunburn and definitely heat stroke. Like You are delirious in the cold while you just get in your sleeping bag, don't you, and shiver for a bit.
But you had to eat some horrible things on I'm a Celeb.
Yes.
What's worse, what you had or the toe sucking there?
Toe sucking is definitely worse. I'm going to throw that out there because I would not want to do that. That makes me feel physically ill. I'm happy to sit with the creepy crawlies and have to use my tongue to get the stars off, even with the snakes and the scorpion spiders, head in a box, any day over toe sucking.
And for you, Curtis, is it when you see AJ and Abbie and they're so happy together? Is it giving you extra sort of incentive to try a different thing because you've tried Love Island, you've been on Celeb to Go dating? What's next for you in terms of finding the one like AJ and Abbie have?
Organically, naturally bumping into somebody when restrictions allow it. Really, that is what's next. Really, I'm single right now, so my love life is absolutely hopeless. I think it has been for everyone. It's been a unique time, hasn't it? So my next step forward is just I'm focusing on me, and if something happens organically and naturally, it happens, and I'm not trying to push it or force it or worry about it. Really, I'm crying sleep every night. Yeah.
Do you give him any advice, AJ?
Just don't be cringy. Don't be Curtis. It's probably the best advice. We've all seen that. It didn't go to plan.
That's
so
rubbish.
Let's try a different.
Rubbish.
That was the thing. When it came to Love Island, everybody was like, AJ, do you take Curtis' advice? It's so good on the show. And then they realised 4 weeks in, it was like, no, there's a reason why I don't take the advice.
No, my advice, not 4 weeks, my advice is still fantastic. It was fantastic on the show, bar one bit of advice, but we won't go into that.
Couple of questionable moments, but that was entertaining for everybody at home at the end of the day.
My advice was great. My actions perhaps weren't.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's different, but...
Exactly. I mean, I hate to bring up Amy. Now, that was one of the most complained about moments in Love Island was when you came back from Casa Amor.
Great.
And you had to tell Amy, just to really sort of make you feel bad about this game, and you had to tell Amy that you'd fallen for Jordan. And then poor girl, she's absolutely heartbreaking, but it actually got complained about, which is, I mean, it's coming. It's going to be Casa Amor. We know that's happening because it's happened since the first series. How do you feel now about that? Did you make the right decision? And do you think you and Amy could ever have anything else? Like maybe you should have stuck with her to the end?
I made the right decision, I feel, for everything that happened. Me and Amy were friends now. We've met a couple of times, been out for food and this and that. And love her to bits. She's a great, great girl. But no, in terms of relationship, the decision was the right decision. What happened? Yeah. And it was horrible, obviously, how it happened and how upset everybody got. It broke my heart. I honestly did. I was so upset in the times that it happened. But we're good friends now, and we've all moved on from that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It must be really horrible on either side of that, having to go in and be oh, I'd hate it. I don't know how you managed to do that, whilst also remembering to stand up straight, breathe in, and everything like that because you're on camera all the time. Well done on doing Love Island. I don't think I would last a day.
It's a unique show. Let's put it, a fantastic show, but it's different. It really, really is. And
obviously, we've heard this week about your other ex on there, Maura, and Giovanni, who you know very well, AJ. What do you think about that pairing, can I ask?
Well, I'm sure that'll be an entertaining situation for both of them. They're both lively characters, I think, and we don't really know much, do we? So I can't really say anything, but yeah.
No, they're both lively characters. They're both nice. It's quite a nice match in hindsight, isn't it? You've all moved on.
We'll find out if that couple lasts, just like Josh. Yeah, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, exactly. We'll find out if that does last. But how is Abbie now anyway, AJ? Because I mean, obviously we heard, we knew what you've been through, and that horrible accident. And she's been so brave talking about it, and so have you. And we saw lovely pictures of you earlier this week when you were at the Well Child event together with Prince Harry, yes. I think. So how is Abbie, first of all, and what was that like?
She's doing really well. I think the thing is when you go through any situation that's very traumatic and very sad, it's kind of She's really focusing on that recovery mentally and physically. Physically, she's doing really good. We're doing lots of rehabilitation, so she's got full movement and lots of laser treatments, so it's really good. And mentally, obviously, talking to people and doing more charity work to help other people. And as you said, being at the World Child Awards the other day, it's just it's really emotional to talk to obviously the children that were getting the awards, which are real life superheroes, and the parents themselves, their support system that allow them to kind of have the best life possible. So yeah, no, we're doing a lot more charity work now, which is it's great. And no, she's doing amazing and she's smiling, and it's nice to be able to get out and about a bit more with the lockdown easing a little bit now.
Yeah, and you can take her out, spoiler rotten for, you know, and have a nice time. Yeah, it's I mean, for anyone who's watching who didn't know that she suffered some really awful burns during it was a TikTok challenge, wasn't it? But which went wrong. Is there sort of are you sort of advising your fans just be wary of some of these things, because they can easily go wrong, can't they? I mean, these awful freak accidents can happen to anyone.
Yeah, no, I think the one thing within this is it was a complete accident, and sometimes with things you see make it look easy and then it doesn't go the way you thought. And really for us, it's about making people aware of other things now. From being in Chelsea and Westminster Hospital with the burns unit, they spoke to us about simple things like, please, people, don't use hot water bottles. People get third-degree burns every single day from just hot water bottles exploding. And then other things, we're speaking to Katie Piper, we're doing some work with her, Lorraine, and simple things like, obviously the summer is out now, we've got barbecues, everybody's happy, and you see people put hand sanitizer on before using barbecue. Obviously, hand sanitizer is very flammable, and people coming in with burns to their hands, they're dealing with barbecue, lighting it with the gas fires, and then their hands catch alight because of the flammable hand sanitizer. So there's lots of kind of common things that we're trying to make people aware of to kind of help them go through what you think you're doing something right and realizing actually you're putting yourself in quite a lot of danger. So yeah, please, people, be safe with anything online, and please, no hot water bottles and hand sanitizer. Make sure you wash your hands properly without hand sanitizer before touching your barbecues.
Yeah, that's really good. I had no idea about some of those things, actually, the hand sanitizer. You don't think about it, and it can just be. She was lucky, but she's been for a very long road to get better, isn't she?
Yeah, very long road.
And we got a message here from Vicky Leyland, who says she had. Apologies, Vicky, you did have this up for a while. She says that you had tickets for your big night out on tour. What are the chances the tour might happen? Because it's been postponed because of coronavirus, to explain to anyone. And I think it's happening next year. Is that correct?
Obviously, at the moment, it was supposed to be happening this year, and it's going to be postponed, hopefully, to a later time next year. It's out of our hands.
Heartbroken.
Scotland cancelled, Wales cancelled, the small venues. It's kind of, everybody doesn't know what is happening right now, and in such uncertain times, we just can't take risks. And we just want people to be safe and happy.
Because the last thing you want is to get all your fans to come out and put themselves in any kind of risk. Obviously, it's
so looking forward. Yeah, it was so really, looking forward.
The sad thing was the tour was wrote, the music was done, the choreography was done. It's kind of everything is like it's there just to ready to pick up and place it at another time.
So excited for it. Something, a whole new, different aspect that we were doing, and it was just going to be incredible. And safety first, isn't it? Safety first.
Well, exactly. And now you can add some of your stand-up that you learned from the stand-up show, Curtis, that you did.
I've edited it. I wrote the script. So I'm very happy with the way that the comic really interflows between dance and game show, and it is all PG, family-friendly comedy.
Let's just say the audience.
Yes.
I was going for a different audience.
You were going for a different audience. You got a little bit of flack. But to be honest, I'd be absolutely terrified standing up there doing stand-up.
One of the hardest things I've done. Honestly, incredible. I learned so much from it. But I remember the first day getting on stage. And they said to me, without any preparation, get on stage, do a 2-minute performance straight away. Go for it. And
I wouldn't know what to do. I honestly wouldn't. It would be that I would be sweating buckets. I wouldn't know where to start other than, hi, my name's AJ, and I hope you enjoyed this comedy. And then hopefully
see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Loved it though, but it was hard.
You could just break into, I'll just do a bit of dance instead then and entertain you with that.
If they start laughing at his dancing, then something's really gone wrong.
As long as they're laughing at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
There's some sibling rivalry there, isn't there? We got another message here from Tom Gribby. I've seen you boys doing panto again this year. Oh, yes, you are. You announce that.
No, we're not.
Are you excited?
Pantomime is the best thing, the most family fun. We are doing
Cinderella.
And we are at
the Grand Wolverhampton. Well, Wolverhampton,
at
the Grand.
At least he knows where we're going.
I nearly said the wrong name then. How bad was that?
I was going to say this is dangerous to make sure you've got it right.
Pantomime together, it brings kids into the theatre. Family, fun, friendly, comedy. And
it will be good. We're doing it together this year as well.
We didn't get to do it last year.
So it is something that's going to be different. And I actually can't wait to get on there. And you get longer to rehearse this time. I remember last time your panto, you had 1 day to rehearse.
I finished strictly on the Saturday. I had Sunday to rehearse. So I started panto on Monday. So to actually have a full rehearsal time this year is very happy for me. And I mean, I'm relaxed before show number 1.
And it'll be our first time back on stage as well, which is yes.
Hurrah! Finally. What are you playing?
I am obviously Prince Charming. I probably don't have to do too much other than look good and smile and wave.
And I am. Oh no, I forgot my name.
You are Dandini.
I was going to say that, but I was thinking I was somebody else there.
If I said something else, we all wouldn't.
No, I am Dandini. Yeah. So I'm like the friend, the best friend type thing. Going to be a little bit of a troublemaker on there, 100%.
You're hilarious. Kurt
great part.
So. No, I do. For any pantomimes that are listening, I do stick to a script. I promise you. When I'm on stage, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
You're meant to rile people up on stand up. That's the point of it. Don't worry, you're meant to. So I feel. Now I also saw that you put your little Tinder thing up the other day, where you were like, okay, you can add videos to Tinder on your Instagram, Curtis, and it's you working out in the gym. Are you two both on a bit of a fitness drive at the moment as well?
Well, at the start of the year, I was on an incredible fitness drive. Like I was like military incredible, like doing everything. And then I slightly injured my shoulder a little bit, so I went off the rails for 2 months. And now I'm back on it, where you've just always just been.
I'm just a bit of a psycho addicted. I love a schedule, and not having a schedule through COVID has really hit me hard. So I wake up in the morning, I go to the gym for an hour, and I absolutely just kill myself till I can't walk or breathe. And I just do that, and it makes me happy. It sounds quite sad when I say it out loud, but it's what keeps me going.
And I'm back doing the exact same thing now. Literally, I think I'll be waking up tomorrow. I did such a big leg workout this morning. I think I'm going to wake up tomorrow.
Don't miss leg day.
And I am not going to be able to get out of bed. I think I'm going to need a Zimmer frame. I'm not even joking.
I've missed every part of the body day, unfortunately. So I've got quite a few of them to go. But oh, you poor thing. The having to feel the pressure of looking good and stuff, is that less now you're not doing Strictly, or is it more?
I don't know. It's a good conversation. When you're on Strictly, obviously you want to be physically fit because then mentally you're strong as well. And I think right now, obviously not being on TV and doing certain things like where I've got my clothes off, I like to do it for myself. I know that if I'm physically fit, I'm mentally fit, so therefore I can get my job done. And when you are strong, you do get more things done. I don't know. It's for me anyway, personally, if I'm not physically fit, I find it hard to get what I need to get done in the day.
Yeah. Well, I sort of vaguely remember that sort of thing.
And it's always nice to have a six-pack just in case the sun comes out. So I'm going to stick with that as well, yeah.
Exactly. Because that is one of the other things about Love Island, when they have to all get out. Honestly, they're all so toned, but I imagine they've been working very, very, very hard at it.
Me and my dad got on there. That's what I got called. Wasn't the most stoned. The cheese got to me. That's what we'll say.
But you still look good, Curtis. And I think anyone that called it a dad bod was being very, very unfair. So do you think it is hard for people to live up to that kind of expectation?
Yeah, yes. I think
one thing I've got to say is, like, a lot of people in them situations, they do it because they feel good. It's not just about, I've got to do it because I've got to have a six-pack and I've got to look good. Well, no, they feel good in themselves. And I think sometimes it can get turned into a negative, whereas actually they've put the time in. If you want to be good at your job, you have to put the time in. Like, they put the time into the gym, so they deserve them results. And I think, don't be jealous or don't judge them or don't say, well, they've had to do that. Like, no, they're proud of it, so why not show it off?
Yeah.
That is a very good point. Definitely. What do you think of Anton finally being a judge, AJ, on Strictly? He deserves it, doesn't he?
From somebody who's been there from day one throughout, I think he is honestly the most well-deserved person. And it's really nice to have somebody that really appreciates and understands ballroom and Latin as a judge on a dance show. And I think that is a key point that you can never forget as any judge on any show. Like, you need to have that fundamental understanding of the body and movement, whatever it is. Like, and you know that you're being judged by somebody who's been in the same shoes. I think that's very good for the professionals and the celebrities.
Well, he's the original OG from day one.
Yes.
He is, so yeah.
He's getting on.
How thrilled do you think he'll be about it? Because is it something he talked about backstage?
He'll be on the ceiling. You will not be able to get him off. And I can't wait to watch the launch show in episode number 1, because he will be a loving. He won't know what to do. He'll be all over the place, and that's what the TV loves.
So excited.
Yeah. He'll be excellent on it, because like you say, sometimes you get the judges come in who are like, not as big experts, because he must have been. He was muted for it before Alicia came on as a judge, like all those years ago. That's probably about 12 years ago that people first said about it. So it's fantastic news now that he's finally got there. And do you think would you, like Curtis, obviously, you were on the Irish version of Strictly, of Dancing with the Stars rather. Would you consider wanting to go down the Strictly route, or are you and AJ definitely not going back there, but you enjoyed your time?
I would love to go down the Strictly route as a judge, as a host, a presenter. It's that type of route. I've done loads of dance, and dance will be in my blood. It will be in everything that we do for the rest of our careers, 100%. I did the Irish version, loved it to bits, and I was going to go down the Strictly route, and then I decided to go Love Island instead. So that was the route that I took, and now we want to move forward together. But I mean, if they need 2 new hosts for the show, we wouldn't say no, put it like that.
Watch out, Tess and Claudia. Clearly, battle lines.
Incredible, they're the best.
We love them.
No, they are very good. And obviously, just to come back down to the sort of Love Island stuff that you were talking about at the beginning, and we now got Laura Whitmore, and it does miss something not having Caroline. She was, she was amazing on that show, and I do feel it's missing its heart a little bit. Is it difficult for you to watch it? Because you were both very close to her, weren't you?
I think Laura Whitmore's doing a fantastic job in the show, and she is lovely and she's incredible.
And she's a fan of the show. She loves it. She eats, sleeps, breathes it, and I think that's what you need with a presenter for that sort of show. And look at her, she's gorgeous, and she's happy in a relationship, and I think that's something that's very important for the show.
Perfectly, 100%. And with Caroline Flack, rest in peace. It's a real shame and
sad situation.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, it really was. But guys, you are, as always, you're great fun. I love having to chat with you, and it's great. And I know you've got another little guest in the background there, haven't you? You had a little dog on earlier on. So
it's running around. It's outside, yeah.
So have you got a busy afternoon ahead?
Dog walking.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. I do really appreciate it. It's been great to chat to you. Looking forward to seeing you in Panto, because I can imagine what that's going to be like. It's going to be cracking. So thank you very much. And thank you everyone for watching. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later. See you later, everyone.